Shalom. I just want to continue with the preparations for this Sabbath. We are going to do the Passover teaching. This will be Saturday evening, which is basically the start of the 14th of Nisan. The 15th of Nisan is actually the Monday. Sunday is the 14th of Nisan. So we sort of align it with the day of preparation. You can celebrate the Pesach meal either on the evening of the 14th or on the evening of the 15th. Yeshua and his disciples ate the meal on the evening of the 14th, and Yeshua was sacrificed between the evenings on the day of the 14th of Nisan, and then he was in the grave on the 15th before the starting of, they call it the High Sabbath, which is the Sabbath, which is the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the first of the 7 days. What we're also going to look at is what I mentioned before, are the two Torah portions. Last week's is Vayikra and this week's is Tav. And what I find fascinating is the alignment of time within our time frame in relation to the parasha, as well as the Moedim, the festivals. So what's interesting about this Torah portion, it relates to the book of Leviticus, and Vayikra as well as Tav both start with the commandment regarding burnt offerings, both of them. And Passover, the Passover lamb, is a type of a burnt offering because it had to be burnt completely. Nothing was to be left over. Same principle with the Olah offering or the burnt offering. And the purpose of the burnt offering during Passover was to strengthen the people for their journey that started the next day when they left Egypt on the first day of unleavened bread. Now, what's interesting about Vayikra is within the Hebrew word itself, it's Vav Yod Kuf Resh Aleph. So it starts with a Vav, it ends with an Aleph, and it's got the word Yakar in the middle. Now Yakar has got a gematria of 310, and the meanings of the words that is associated with the number 310 is foundation, to bind, gift, offering, and a few other words as well. That all relates to the covenant, which points back to the binding of Isaac, the sacrifice, the picture of the sacrifice of Mashiach that preceded the receiving of the gift of the Spirit. And all of that is found between the two letters, the Vav and the Aleph, where the Aleph represented Yahweh and the Vav represented Moshe, and the conversation that happened between them is encapsulated or captured within the word Yakar and the meaning of the gematria of Yakar. So that was fascinating in itself. Now, what I want to point out today is the word foundation. Now, the foundation of our faith, as we discovered when we studied the tabernacle, is fire. Fire, ash, also means foundation. And fire or ash is the foundation of the sacrificial system, because fire is the energy that translates a physical body, which is an animal, into a spiritual concept, specifically the Olah offering, where everything was burnt and only the ashes and the bones were left behind, and everything else became a sweet smell, which reached up to the presence of Yahweh. So that had contact with the spiritual. So fire is the medium to translate something in the physical into something in the spiritual. And that's why the shin of the burnt offering is so important. It's the foundation of our translation process that we need to undergo. Now, the commandment regarding the burnt offering, I think this one is, I don't know if it's Vayikra or Tav, either one of the two, was about keeping the fire burning continually. And the priests had to take the ash off and then put new wood on the fire and keep it burning. The same was for the menorah on the inside of the holy place, where they had to trim the wicks, top it up with oil, so that the fire will burn continually. And that was a process that the priesthood had to take care of. So the foundation of the fire is seen on the outside in the outer court area, which benefit the people of the outer court, and also the people coming into the household of Yahweh. And then as you become a priest, after cleansing yourself at the laver, you have access into the holy place in order to help facilitate the service within the holy place in relation to the menorah, keeping the foundation of the translation energy, if you want to call it that, intact, or keep it burning. The product of fire is light, and light is another term for truth and the word of Yahweh. So we see there's truth in relation to the light that's produced by the offering on the outside in the outer court, and there's also truth and revelation seen on the inside in the holy place. Now, in Vayikra, Yahweh had a conversation with Moshe in the Ohel Moed, which is the holy place. So he entered into the holy place, and the revelation of the light that shined from the menorah, that's a spiritual picture of, was the revelation of the discussion between the Vav and the Aleph, or the Yakar, which Moshe received from Yahweh's light that came from the foundation of who he is. And that flame of the menorah and the Yakar, which actually laid the foundation or made the connection between the covenant, which is Genesis 15, made with Abraham, and linking it to the sacrificial system, which points towards the future with the sacrifice of Mashiach, which is the Passover lamb, which is a connection that John the Baptist did by saying, "Behold, the Lamb of God to take away the sin," connecting the offering of the lamb with the offering of the two goats. So we're going to look at all of those things this coming Sabbath and in our discussion with Pesach, but with the framework of the two Torah portions, which make it very unique. I'm looking forward to sharing that. I hope you have a lovely day, and speak to you soon. Shalom.